We just did truss, and so now let's build on this. We talked about it as sort of bow truss. We made a bow truss, then you made three bow trusses, and you've taken some snapshots of them and turned those in. So what I have here now is a file called Space Frame Truss. This is a Rhino file, .3dm file that I've opened in Rhino. Three curves in space. And we're going to use this to make the mother of all trusses, the 3D truss. So I'm going to open up Grasshopper and look at that. So basically all we're doing, oh yeah, this is like truss porn. Anyway, all we're doing is we're performing the same recipe as before between, let's say, this three-dimensional curve and this three-dimensional curve, and making a truss between them. And then we're doing it again between this curve and the next curve, right? And creating a truss, and then again between the first curve and the last curve, right? And so if I open this up, you'll see I have three curves, and I'm dividing them a certain number of times, and then I'm connecting them up with lines, and I'm also shifting them as need be. It's pretty interesting. And then I pipe them in order to give them some thickness. All right, so recipe-wise, let's zoom in and see what's actually happening here. Same as before, we'll talk about the recipe that we're implementing. And then the next video, I'll build it from scratch. And then in the third video, I'll give you an assignment to do. And you'll try to follow along, build it yourself, and show me what you've been up to. All right, anyway, let's get going. First of all, just as before, I'm going to select all of this stuff all at once. Go to Solution. Turn preview, select it off. So I'm going to turn off the preview for everything that I've selected, which is everything. There we go. Boom, yeah. All right. So we're back to just having our three curves in Rhino. It's really nice, just, drawing a bunch of stuff in Rhino. Pretty sweet. Anyway, here they are, our initial ingredients. Each one of these is referencing a curve, right? I can right-click, set one curve. There it is. Right-click, set one curve. Select a different curve. There we are. And then finally our third curve. Set one curve. And I'll select this bad boy right there. All right. Turn the previews on. Yeah. Preview on. Preview on. All right. Curve, curve, curve. You can see them highlighted in green when I select the widget. Move these over. If you're like me, hopefully you're not, but if you're like me and you're kind of anal about these things, you can always try to get these things to align. Right? I don't know if you've noticed that. You can center them or have them justify to the left or the right, right? And then you can move them around, and you can sort of keep things organized. So, if I do all of these, I can say, center them or maybe justify them to the right. Ooh, yeah, look at that. I'll do this, maybe space them evenly. Distribute them across. Anyway, so now we have three chords, right? We basically are just building a truss between two chords at a time. So let's build one between this one and this one, right? First of all, I'm going to divide each of these, right? The number of divisions is right here. It's a number slider. That same number slider is plugged in for each of the divide widgets, so we don't want to have a different number of points to connect up between the different curves. We want them all to have the same number. That way everything lines up nicely. All right. Now, let's take a look-see here. We have a set of lines that just connect these points one to one, right? And this one will do the same, but between this set of curves, right? Plug those in. Yeah. Wowee. Look at that. Amazing. And I think you can probably guess what this one does. Yep, that's right. All right, so those are the first set of line widgets. And then what we do is we take and we start to shift some of these lists and connect them up. All right, so here's a set that, oh yeah, look at that. Starts to create some of the cross bracing. And then here's the next cross bracing set. Right? It's all about just keeping this stuff straight in your head because we've shifted each list. And so it's about which list you're plugging in for start and ends. All right. Okay. And last but not least, we can yeah, we can pipe these things and give them a radius, right? So let's go ahead and give them some thickness. And we can do the same for the chords. Let's say the chords are actually going to be a little thicker than the webbing. It's typically what happens. Maybe we'll take this down a notch or two. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, and so that's how we did it. So that's the recipe in a nutshell. And you know, I'm not sure why my cursor is like ridiculously large right there. That's kind of weird, but whatever. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. It's, you know, again, it's basically we just do what we did before, but 3 times, right? And so it's organized a little bit differently, but it's basically the same recipe, just more of it. This is like you know, multiplying the recipe for cookies and making, you know, cookies for the entire school or something, which is a great idea if you ever get bored. Anyway, so that concludes this one, and in the next video, don't worry, we'll build this bad boy from scratch. I can hardly wait, so as soon as this is saved, I'm actually going to start right away. Okay, see you soon.